Marketing students, hi, Catherine Robertson here, touching base with you regarding Chapter 1 and Week 1 of the course. I know that you have all kind of settled in to the course, and when you look at Week 1, there is the video that is the course intro and the syllabus review. Make sure you review the syllabus. We will have a bunch of discussions in this course. So for Week 1, I am looking for we will be heavy on the discussions and less on the homework assignments versus some of the other courses that you might be interested in. I did revamp the discussion post a tiny bit. The wording, it needed a little more editing, so I apologize for that. So there's a two-part to the discussion, just a reminder on that. And I wanted to kind of start off with the text. Again, this is the text. It looks like this. You can only find it new, however, on Amazon or on OpenStax, and it runs about $40. There is an extra copy in the library if you physically like to read. This is my copy. I like to have a physical book. So for Chapter 1, what I'm looking at is just kind of get your feet wet. In Chapter 1 goes into kind of an overview of marketing and what marketing, the marketing process is. And those of you that have had Business 101, we did spend a couple chapters on learning about the 4 Ps, right? In the marketing mix: price, product, promotion, and placement / distribution. And that this is what makes up the entire marketing scene, right, for a company. When they're coming up with a new product or service, they have to figure out then, once they have the idea, how to turn it into some sort of product or service, right? Whether you're an entrepreneur and it is your one big idea, or you are a company and you come up with new ideas all the time, right? Or new product lines or brand extensions, things like that, product extensions. So for Chapter 1, if you take a look in the text, and Chapter 1 starts on page 11. So Chapter 1 has 7 parts. And those 7 parts: the marketing and the marketing process, the marketing mix, 4 Ps, kind of an overview, the factors that comprise and affect the marketing environment, really the evolution of what we consider marketing, right? Marketing is somewhat of a new concept kind of since World War II, and since we started to have TVs in every house and print ads, magazines, and now we've evolved into all of the different social media and influencers, YouTubers, TikTok, Instagram, all of those new and exciting ways that we can market products as companies and as entrepreneurs. And so also then discussing consumer needs and wants, the consumer relationship management setup, right? CRM. So how do we manage our relationships with customers? Like, how do we keep our loyal customers happy? How do we attract new customers? And what is our customer service like if things were to go bad, or things are break, or are not what customers anticipate, right? And then also ethical marketing. So if my suggestion for you is to first go through and read Chapter 1, right? There's some extra stuff at the end. There is always read the chapter summary, right? That highlights, for the instance, in this chapter. So each chapter is set up similar. So I will kind of go over Chapter 1, go over Chapter 2, very specifically the layout. Then I will focus less on the layout as we move forward, because the chapters are laid out similar. So for Chapter 1, the outline consists of 7 parts, right? 1.1, 1.2, etc. to 1.7. And so you're going to go through those different parts of the chapter, and then the chapter summary that's at the end of the traditional chapter kind of gives you a highlight of each one of those sections. And then there's some key terms that you might want to familiarize yourself with from Chapter 1. There are questions we will do as we move forward. We will do homework from some of these questions and some of these exercises and applications, right? As we move forward from Chapter 1, we are not turning in any questions from the end of the chapter, but you can review those for your own gain. And once you are done reading the chapter, then I would suggest pulling up the PowerPoint and reviewing through the PowerPoint what you have learned from your reading. And if you go through the PowerPoint and you find that there are things that are not familiar to you, it means you now is the time to circle back to the chapter and kind of familiarize yourself a little bit better with the concepts. And there are some questions. You are not answering those to turn in, but there are questions, thought-provoking questions in the PowerPoint to kind of help you reflect on what you've learned from the readings and, kind of reflect on where you are with the chapter. And also to help you apply some of the things that you're reading to your own life, right? Because when we apply things to our own lives, that's really when we kind of start to really feel and learn those items. All right, so when we talk about some of the definitions, like identifying customer needs, anticipating customer needs, satisfying customer needs, right? And profitability. These all lead to profitability. First, we have to identify them, then we have to anticipate what they might want. We see this all the time, right? Apple does this. We just had the new 15 released. They push us to the next level, right? They anticipate that we are going to want a new phone every year, or especially the early adopters among us, right? And then we talk about some stakeholders, right? When we talk about marketing, not only, there are internal stakeholders, but there are also the external stakeholders, right? Customers, creditors, suppliers, they need to know about our products and our pricing setup. All right, so the steps in the marketing process. Step one, who is the customer and what do they want, right? This is the number one reason I see businesses fail. Well, one of the number one reasons is that they fail to identify what the customer wants. They think just because an entrepreneur might think just because it's something that they are interested in, that other folks will want the product, right? But the market may not be there, whether it's in a location or price point, whatever it might be. So knowing what customers want and working backwards, right? Finding that need and filling it. Step two, how is the company going to move the customer to purchase the product? Like, what are they going to do to get the person up and out and spend their money, right? Step three, value equals benefits divided by price. So what are the benefits to the consumer and how is it played off in the price, right? And step four, how do we reach consumers and compel them to purchase and repurchase? And step five, how do we foster customer loyalty? So make sure that you review those. There are a few questions for you there for you to review. Again, when you're looking at these frameworks, they're really to help you kind of compartmentalize and organize the marketing structures that are out there and organize your own thoughts really into more manageable pieces that are housed in frameworks, right? And so the marketing mix, those of you that are new to marketing, this idea of the 4 Ps, right? Product, price, place, and promotion, and how all components turn, all of those, right, are part of what we call the marketing mix. So it's not just the advertising that we see. That's just one component, or the promotion component, right? The product itself has to have some key components. All right, as you scroll through, as you read through the chapter and also scroll through these PowerPoints, talks the chapter and the PowerPoints both talk about the internal and external environments, right? That are factors when we are thinking about the marketing mix. And again, then we have ways of organizing the internal and external environment. Again, the internal environment is something we can control, right? This is part of our organization, part of where the product or service really is spawned. The external environment, right, the macro and micro environment, is really things that we need to be ready for, right? Opportunities, threats, things on the outside, that moving parts that we can maybe predict, but we can't completely account for. And we need to be ready on multiple fronts. All right, so a quick review. Make sure you're familiar with the micro environment and also the macro environment, those pressures that are on an organization from a marketing standpoint. The idea of the evolution of marketing, right, comes to us from, you start with this product concept and a production concept, and then you move into, this idea of production, and then really what we saw was more into products and then into selling, then into really marketing, but now we're really into this idea of societal marketing and, and placing products. Not only do they have to be good products and attract customers, they also, have to have some awareness about them, right? We like to buy products that reflect our understanding of societal needs or reflect our caring about societal needs, whether it's things that are earth friendly, right? That's a good example of, or green products. Example of products really and marketing to consumers in this day and age. It's not just about getting them to buy things. It's like a deeper layer, right? Companies focus on meeting the needs of consumer, the needs of the company, and the growing concern of the needs of society. And consumers focus on buying products based on societal impact. So being aware of that when you market is a new component that we've seen here in the last decade or two, another in the evolution of marketing. All right, so again, there's questions here for you as you go throughout to just kind of plant seeds there as to what might be important to you and and get you thinking about how it applies to your life, right? All right, so chapter 1, your homework is to read chapter 1, do the two-part discussion, and review the syllabus. And don't forget your video, 2-minute video to me, either phone, right? You can send me, you can record it on your phone and send it to me. You have my phone number. You can send it to my email. Both are in the syllabus. Or you can record something on YouTube, collaborate, any of those things. We can meet virtually, right? We can meet, or we can meet in person if you're interested. I'm on both campuses, right? I love meeting in person. I am on campus the whole entire semester from 2:30 to 3:45. I teach a class at West Campus, and so I am usually there before and after that class all the time. If you want an appointment, then just reach out to me. Like, hey, I'm going to be on campus at 1:30. Can we meet up, right? That would be great, but you need to do that in the first 2 weeks. So I know that you are around and you are a real person, right? If you happen to be in one of my classes, just pull me aside and you were lucky enough to be able to just discuss quickly with me your ideas about marketing and you are able to get your 2 percentage points. Again, that's 2 course percentage points that this assignment is. So in the first 2 weeks, make sure that you send me a short video either to my phone or to my email. And it's 2 percentage points, not 2 points, right? So if you do not do this assignment within the first 2 weeks, you will lose 2 percentage points. Your course grade is already down to a 98, right? So we do not want you to lose those points. Also, make sure that you either post in the discussion, you reach out to me via email, or all three, or turn in your video by Monday, next Monday, the 25th. If I do not hear from you and you have not made contact, by the evening of the 25th, the registrar will automatically withdraw you from the course, and I do not want that. You are no longer able to re-enter the course, and you will have to take it at a later date in a different term. And so please make sure that you are staying on top of things. This is a 12-week course. It's a little slower pace than the 8-week, but it's a lot of material packed in here. We'll start off kind of slow, and then we kind of pick up the pace as we move forward. Again, if you have questions for me, you want to meet up, whatever it might be, please let me know and reach out to me via phone or email. And phone text-wise, because my phone is usually on silent and I will rarely answer the telephone call. So I want to make sure that I get your text, get your video, whatever it might be. So welcome to the first week of the 12-week course here at the 12-week term, in the fall term at EC3. Have a great afternoon.